Valentine's Day is supposed to be about love, romance, flowers, and happy endings, but horror movies have never played by those rules. If anything, Valentine's Day might be one of the best excuses for slashers, masked killers, obsession and jealousy, and some absolutely brutal kills. There's just something about mixing love and violence that makes horror hit even harder. Valentine's Day horror movies take every emotion that comes with the holiday. Love, obsession, heartbreak, jealousy, and it cranks it up to dangerous and violent statuses. Whether it's a jealous lover, a twisted killer with a theme, or a night that's supposed to be romantic going horribly wrong, these movies prove that nothing ruins Valentine's Day faster than murder. So whether you're watching with a date, watching with some friends, or spending Valentine's Day alone, these are the perfect movies to throw on if you want something fun, festive, and maybe even a little bit romantic, but most definitely disturbing. To classic slashers to modern films that go all in on style and kills, I'm bringing you 5 Valentine's Day horror movies that you need to watch. So if you enjoy the video, hit that like and subscribe button with your significant other. But anyways, let's get started. Our first movie is Valentine from 2001. Alright, we're kicking things off with an absolutely fun one. Valentine is peak early 2000s slasher energy, and that is definitely why it works so well and why it's just such a fun old time. This movie leans far into its whodunit or late 90s, early 2000s slasher vibe where you try to guess the killer, and it's kind of got a little bit of mystery elements in there as well. It's not trying to reinvent the genre, it just wants to be a good time, and it succeeds. The story follows a group of women who begin receiving creepy Valentine's Day cards, and not the cute kind. As the holiday gets closer, they start getting picked off one by one by a masked killer wearing a Cupid-style mask. As the bodies pile up, it becomes clear that the murders are connected to a traumatic event from their past, and the movie slowly builds towards a reveal that actually works surprisingly well. This movie is just fun. It can be a little cheesy, the characters and acting might be a little off here and there, the writing and dialogue might be a little off here and there, but that's all part of its charm. It fully embraces the slasher formula, the stylish kills, a holiday theme, and a mystery that keeps you guessing. If you like movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend, I mean, this movie just fits right in your radar. Fun fact, Valentine was heavily inspired by the success of late 90s slashers and even cast several familiar faces from that era, including Denise Richards and Katherine Heigl. The Cupid mask has since become one of the most underrated slasher designs that horror fans still bring up every Valentine season. You can currently find Valentine on Tubi and Roku for free. Our second movie is Heart Eyes from 2025. Alright, this one is easily one of my favorite Valentine's horror movies in recent years, or Valentine's movies in general. Heart Eyes came out last year and absolutely nails that balance between intense slasher and kind of a romance, fun, charmy vibe. From the jump, you know exactly what this movie's doing. It leans into the holiday theme hard and turns it into something bloody, stylish, and ridiculously entertaining. Heart Eyes follows a serial killer who targets couples on Valentine's Day, stalking them through neon-lit streets and romantic settings that quickly turn into a full-on slaughter zone. The movie wastes absolutely no time. The opening scene sets the tone immediately and lets you know you're in for something wild. As the body count rises, the mystery behind the killer starts to unfold, blending classic slasher beats with modern energy and sharp pacing. This movie just works. The slasher design is amazing and one of the most fun masks and fun, slasher characters, like especially recently, but maybe even ever. The kills are brutal and creative, and the characters are absolutely so fun to root for. You just want them to win, and that just really ties, kind of being emotional for the characters, and you actually care for them. It's not just an 80s slasher where, the characters are just these cookie cutter, like cliche type of characters. These are true, charming characters that you actually want to win. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it still delivers the tension when it needs to and keeps you hooked and on edge of your seat the whole time. The Valentine's Day aesthetic mixed with its straight up slasher violence makes it feel fresh, and honestly, every major kill scene is absolutely awesome. It's the kind of movie that reminds you why slashers are so fun and amazing in the first place. Fun fact, Heart Eyes was designed to feel like a modern love letter to classic holiday slashers, but with a slicker visual style and heavier emphasis on character chemistry. The killer's look quickly became one of the most talked about new slasher designs of the year, and didn't take long for horror fans to start calling this an instant Valentine's cult classic. You can currently find Heart Eyes on Netflix. Our third movie is My Bloody Valentine from 1981. Alright, you can't talk about Valentine's Day horror movies or slashers in general without talking about My Bloody Valentine. This is a classic Valentine's horror slasher, and it delivers exactly what you would like to see from an 80s slasher, a classic 80s slasher. It's got all the elements you need. You get creepy atmosphere, a pretty incredible mystery, and some awesome and creative kills that I did not know they were capable of for a lower budget film back in the 80s. The movie takes place in a small mining town that's pre-gaming for a Valentine's Day dance, despite a local legend warning them not to. Years later, a deadly accident traps miners underground, leading to a massacre that still haunts the town. As Valentine's Day approaches, people start getting picked off one by a killer wearing full mining gear, gas mask, and all, turning the holiday into a bloodbath. This movie is pure slasher comfort food. The setting is unique, the killer design is iconic, and the mystery actually works. It's got that classic who's behind the mask type of energy that you love to see in all your favorite slasher movies. And the twist at the end is a lot of fun if you're going in blind. And yeah, I know it's like 50 years old now, so to go in blind is kind of hard. But if you have the chance to do it, do not watch a trailer. Go watch that movie. Do not look it up. Just go watch it and be surprised. Plus, for an 80s slasher, the kills are pretty brutal and creative, and especially the mine-related ones. It's really everything you want from that era. It's got it all for you. Fun fact, a lot of the original gore was cut from the theatrical release to avoid an X rating, which hurt its reputation for years. Thankfully, the uncut version has since been restored, allowing fans to finally see the movie the way it was meant to be experienced: bloody, nasty, and unforgettable. You can currently find My Bloody Valentine streaming on Amazon and Apple. Our fourth movie is Love Hurts from 2022. First off, this one also goes by the title Most Horrible Thing, so if you're searching for it to watch it, you might be able to find it under that alternate title and not under Love Hurts. And that's because this one is a lower budget indie Valentine's Day horror that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Love Hurts takes a simple concept and absolutely runs with it and flips it on its own head. Blending slasher setups with classic trapped overnight setups, it becomes for the perfect movie. And honestly, it's way more fun than you might expect from the budget. This movie follows 6 guests who were invited to a luxurious dinner at a mansion for $10,000 on Valentine's night. They find themselves stuck inside the mansion only to realize they're being targeted one by one. As the night goes on, secrets start coming out, tensions rise, and it becomes clear that this isn't just about random violence. There's intention behind the kills. The story plays with expectations and throws in a few twists that keep things interesting until the very end. What really worked with this one is the vibe that it has. It has that House on Haunted Hill style vibe and energy. You know, people invited to a mansion to try to do some sort of challenge for a certain amount of money, and eventually getting trapped in that location with paranoia building and nobody knowing who to trust. Even with its tiny budget, the movie keeps on moving and stays entertaining the whole time through. It's cheesy, yeah, but in a way that really adds to its slasher vibe, and honestly, it makes it even better for a Valentine's night watch. Fun fact, the movie leans heavily into practical effects rather than CGI, which helps give the kills a more grounded, old-school slasher feel. It's one of those indie horror films that really benefits from going in blind because the twists hit harder when you're not expecting them. You can currently find Love Hurts streaming on Plex for free. Our fifth movie is My Bloody Valentine from 2009. Wrapping up the list with the remake of My Bloody Valentine, the Valentine's slasher classic. This one might not hit the same heights as the original in my opinion, but it is still a lot of fun. This one goes heavy in the brutality and the kills and the gore, which is something I was not expecting when I went into it, and I thought it was a nice touch. In this one, I mean, along with the gore and everything else that it adds, it really leans heavily into that 2000s remake energy that was going on at the time, and you can definitely tell, but again, that gore really adds to this story on Valentine's Day. Set in a small mining town, the story follows a series of brutal murders that resurface years after a deadly Valentine's Day massacre. As the bodies start piling up again, suspicion falls on a survivor of the original incident who has returned to the town and may or may not be connected to the killer. The mystery slowly unravels as the masked miner stalks the town, leaving blood-soaked Valentine cards behind. While it's not as charming or atmospheric as the original, it definitely makes up for it with its sheer intensity in here. The kills are way more graphic, the mining setup is claustrophobic and creepy, and the killer design is still awesome. If you're in the mood for a slasher that doesn't hold back and honestly just wants to be mean, this is the one for you. It works for a great double feature with that 1981 film, so you can go ahead and compare them and see how differently this story can be told and how many different directions you can take it. Fun fact, this movie was originally released in 3D, which is why many of the kills are staged to be extra in your face. Tools, weapons, and blood were all designed to pop off the screen, making it one of the more aggressively gory slashers of its era. You can currently find My Bloody Valentine streaming on Tubi and Pluto TV. Alright, so those are my 5 Valentine's Day horror movies that you need to watch, but if I had to pick just one out of all these movies to recommend for you to watch this Valentine's Day, it's going to be Hard Eyes from 2025. It's just so fun. I mean, the kills are so gnarly, like that van scene, you know, if you know, you know. The characters are a blast to root for, and it is really fun with that thread of romance that is really perfect for a Valentine's night watch, especially if one of you likes to watch horror and blood and slasher and gore, and one of you likes to watch romance. It comes together perfectly for you. It balances, again, both of those so well, and Mason Gooding in here, I mean, he's just so charming. It's so believable that he would be able to play this role and be this person in this film and, you know, be that character that they, you know, kind of use in different ways. So his charm and his acting ability just really adds to this film, makes it such a fun time. The Valentine's Day vibes are totally off the charts as well. From the setting to the tension to the moments that actually made me jump, it's just a blast to watch. It kept me guessing the whole time. The mix of fun, scares, and romance is such a perfect combo. Honestly, if you watch this on Valentine's night, I think it would be the perfect date. If you've seen any of these movies, let me know your thoughts on them right on down below, and let me know if I missed any of your favorite Valentine's Day horror movies. And as always, hit that like and subscribe button, or Hard Eyes will show up at your doorstep with a Valentine that you will not forget. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and peace!